What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with Tech Daily. So one of the common criticisms I often see with some of the more premium all-in-one robot vacuums and mops is that they're just too expensive. Regardless of how good they are or how many features they might offer, I can totally understand that spending, say, $1,000 or more on something like this just isn't practical. Fortunately, this one is not $1,000, yet it still offers all the comprehensive cleaning, obstacle avoidance, automation, and other premium features you'd want to ensure your entire home stays squeaky clean without you having to do any of the work. This is Eureka's J15 Ultra. It's a full-fledged robot vacuum and mop combo with crazy powerful suction, a tangle-free brush head, auto-extending mop arm that also pushes down to deep clean those tiled and hardwood floors. It's smart enough to recognize and avoid more than 150 different objects and obstacles around your home, and it lives inside this auto-emptying and auto-washing base station. And those are just some of its best features, which would usually command a 4-figure price tag. But you can snag the J15 Ultra on Amazon right now for just under $700. That's one of the best price-to-feature ratios I've seen across the robot vacuums I've reviewed thus far, and I'll leave a link to this J15 Ultra down below in the video description if you want to learn more about it or snag one for yourself. But let me show you everything this thing can do. Now, the J15 Ultra, of course, gets parked inside this base station here, and this setup is actually quite a bit smaller than other ones I've reviewed. It's only about 19 inches tall, but this houses all the cleaning and washing accoutrements. There's large separate tanks for dirty and clean water, which you can easily pull out, refill, and rinse. There's a replaceable vacuum bag behind the front cover that'll get filled up with all the dirt, dust, and debris the vacuum collects and then deposits into the space station. And at the bottom, this is where the mop pads will get deep cleaned and dried after mopping. More on that in a moment. The J15 Ultra itself looks pretty similar to most other robot vacuums, but I do like that it's more square. I think that helps it get closer to edges and corners. Under the hood, you'll find its own removable dust bin with a HEPA filter. The robot vacuum will collect the dust and dirt inside here first when it's on the move, and then like I mentioned, it'll come back and deposit that all into the base station's vacuum bag when it's done cleaning. Underneath, you'll notice the rotating side brush, 2 removable mop pads, one of which has that auto-extending arm, and the main rotating vacuum brush, along with its large navigation wheels. Now, this main roller brush here is also paired with a built-in detangling comb attached to the vacuum. Eureka calls this their Flexi Razor feature, and it will literally cut through strands of hair it vacuums up to 400 times per minute after returning to the base station. Now, the J15 Ultra works best when paired with the Eureka Robot App, which is available for both iOS and Android. After connecting the vacuum to your Wi-Fi network, you'll want to have the robot vacuum map out your home first. It'll cruise around identifying different room types, floor types, furniture, and other obstacles, and you'll be able to see an entire map of your home or space in just a matter of minutes. My map ended up being pretty darn accurate, even down to the room names and furniture, but you can also edit the map if needed by renaming different rooms, adjusting the room boundaries, or updating the floor types. You can task the J15 Ultra to clean in a multitude of different ways, from a comprehensive whole home clean to just a single room or area. You can have it just vacuum or just mop, and you could also adjust its cleaning power and the robot's pathway. The app is really well designed. It's super easy to use, and there's enough options that allow for specific and comprehensive cleaning modes without being overwhelming or unnecessary. It's probably one of the better apps I've used for a robot vacuum, honestly. As just a vacuum, the J15 Ultra is able to achieve up to 19,000 pascals of suction power. That's definitely on the high end of even its most expensive counterparts, and it means that it's able to suck up both fine dust and dirt and large debris with ease, usually in just one pass. It also means that it can clean deeper. And in my own home, although it may not look like it, the carpet here is actually relatively thick, so a deep vacuum clean is definitely necessary. The J15 Ultra's roller brush definitely helps with that, and you can actually see visible, obvious vacuum lines all the way across my carpet, which is a great indication of how thorough this vacuum can be. You can also see the vacuum's direct back and forth path. There's a few path preferences you can switch between, but each one prompts the robot to perform a crisscross sweep back and forth forth, up and down in a non-random, very succinct pattern, which ensures a proper, full clean of the entire space, including along the edges and borders. As the vacuum cruises around your space, it'll actually be able to identify and avoid more than 150 different objects. There's an IntelliView AI camera on the front that's paired with a couple bright LED lights, so no matter what it sees, or whether or not it's in a well-lit space, or a dark room, or under furniture, it's going to be able to identify that object and avoid it. Or, if it encounters a mess that it needs to tackle with big debris, like cereal or pet food for example, it can slow its side brush down, approach the mess more cautiously, and clean it up properly, ensuring that it doesn't spread anything unnecessarily. And you can also tap into that AI camera via the app, which is fun. It gives you a live look at where the vacuum is, but don't worry, it's 2 of Rhineland certified for privacy and data security, so no one will be sneaking a peek at you. In addition to identifying objects and debris, the J15 Ultra can also identify different floor types and wet messes, which obviously comes in handy going from vacuum mode to mop mode. First, the J15 Ultra can literally lift up its mop pads some 12 millimeters. That's Eureka's Flexi Rise feature, so the mop pads don't drag along your carpet. When it's time to start mopping, the base station will wet the mop pads, and then the mop pads will be pressed firmly against the tile or wood floor to ensure a deep clean. And a thorough clean, thanks in part to its squared off design, like I mentioned, but also its Scrub Extend feature. One of its rotating mop pads can literally extend outward to really get against any edges. This ensures an almost zero gap edge cleaning. The J15 Ultra gets nearly 100% of edge coverage with only a fraction of a millimeter of distance away from the edge. Mopping can honestly be kind of a dirty task, so the J15 Ultra does 2 more things to ensure everything stays clean. It can first identify wet messes, like I mentioned, rotate itself, and prioritize mopping up said mess without spreading it or driving over it. On top of that, if it's an especially messy area, the J15 Ultra can cruise back to its base station, clean off its mop pads, and then return to the area to really make sure it's clean. And its base station not only collects the vacuum debris, but it's also capable of fully scrubbing those mop pads. The base station cleans the mop pads using hot water up to 167 degrees Fahrenheit to break down stains, dissolve stubborn grease, and ensure you aren't cleaning with dirty mop pads. The base station will also dry those mop pads at temperatures up to 131 degrees Fahrenheit to combat mold and odors. Between the various cleaning modes within the app and the self-cleaning base station, the J15 Ultra affords you up to 75 days of hands-free cleaning. And if you want to utilize its AI capabilities even further, you can have the J15 Ultra decide when it's time to deep clean, identify stained areas on your floors for mopping, and schedule all its cleaning tasks by floor type, room type, or day of the week, essentially giving you that true hands-free and fully automated cleaning experience for weeks on end. Across the dozen or so other robot vacuum and mops I've reviewed at this point, this J15 Ultra I think is one of the best combinations of features and price. It offers a comprehensive list of cleaning modes, plenty of smart things like AI obstacle avoidance, the latest cleaning advancements like its extending mop arm and the super suction power, and a whole lot more, all for a price that's a lot more friendly than a lot of the other all-in-one robots on the market right now. So there you go, that's the Eureka J15 Ultra. What do you guys think of this robot vacuum and mop? Can you see this cruising around your house, keeping everything clean? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to follow Tech Daily on Twitter and subscribe to the Tech Daily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.